Music connects me to earth, a tether keeping my disconnected mind grounded, a rhythm I can join when my thoughts are scattered, a melody I can release and know it will anchor on a root or rock, something securing me to the earth and to life. As vibrations from the earth rise in my body, a low rumble begins to settle in my belly. Sound waves huddle together, anxiously awaiting. They wait like kindling waits for a spark. An anxious and aching mind knows it's time to gather its strength, to find its passion, to ignite. The waves and vibrations swirl together, gaining momentum. My spine lengthens as they dance through my core, awakening, reminding, calling. Sound turns to song as it is given life through breath. My soul stirs. Song begins to massage my brain gently, lovingly, releasing and cleansing the dark parts of my mind. I settle in, my newly freed emotions beginning to unravel. Beauty from ashes. Power from pain. Music, an escape to another realm, where I soar through the sky on melody, or rest in the safety of harmony, or find order in the steadiness of rhythm. My spirit rejuvenated, my soul connected. When no words can be found, music can tell the story. When darkness surrounds, sound lights the next step on the path. Each story is a song that begs to be sung. Now, sing.
We all have creative energy. When our daily lives are busy and the demands feel overwhelming, it can be difficult to access that creativity. We sense that something is missing. Spending time in nature allows me to see the natural world, and I feel a part of it. When I sketch outdoors, I'm looking and really seeing the beauty around me. I can see the light shimmering on the water, and I sense the majesty of the landscape. It is the act of sitting there quietly which feeds my soul. Each of us has the capacity to make sounds. The magic happens when our voices blend together. In choral singing, we can express joy, celebration, sorrow, and love in the way we join our voices together. When we sing for others, we understand that someone out there in the audience is carrying a heavy burden, and we send our voices out to them. We give that person a gift which has the capacity to stir their soul.
My name is Fiona. I've been singing with Chorus Niagara for a long time. I have been singing and knitting since I was a little girl. I found recently that it's helping to deal with my anxiety and depression. Singing calms me, and knitting keeps me motivated towards a good mood and a wonderful goal. I need to keep these two things with me all the time. Sometimes rehearsing and practicing music can be wearing, but it makes the concert that we are singing much more satisfying when we achieve what we set out to do. Sing beautifully for our audience and ourselves. I started knitting this shawl on our last bus trip to Toronto for Chorus Niagara. I had to take part of the shawl apart and start again. It made me think about failing and then get back up and keep going on a new path to help me succeed this time. I am hoping to have the shawl finished by the Sound Mind concert on May 6th by Chorus Niagara with the Chorus Niagara Children's Choir.
How did I get here? I don't even know. They say, take the road less traveled. But so far, it's going way too slow. I can't expect you to handle my darkness. Can today just be done? Can this life just be over? I just want a day where I didn't cry so hard the one before. As I read those words I wrote to myself in that dark time so long ago, my heart aches for the hurts that I felt, for that pain that concealed me, for the light that went out in my heart where no one could see me, for the unhealed version of myself. And I love her, and I love me. We have all fallen. We have all felt broken, in need of a hand, in need of a friend. Sometimes we forget that we're just bruised. We're not broken. Who we are is not lost, just hidden for a while. We have all felt loss, a dark cavern so great it swallows us. And we need someone to share their light, to show us the way out, to make us want to come out. That was me then, and I'm so grateful now for the ones who loved me, who didn't give up, who convinced me to stay. The hardest part about the world is living in it. So choose your hard. What's worth having is never easy. Embrace the joy Embrace the sorrow. Remember what it means to be alive, and do the work for a better tomorrow.
My name is Daniel McColgan. Music has been part of my life ever since before I was born. I love singing in choir because I'm part of something bigger than myself, and it challenges me to listen while singing. I'd like to play a piano piece I've composed and share a poem my brother wrote. My brother Quinn passed away last October, and he had mental health challenges during his battle with cancer. This poem is called Mend. How do I begin again? Will you still be my friend? Together we can mend. These are the trends. We follow lines and bends, then wish it was all pretend. Where are the directions? I'm lost at the intersection. Puzzled by inspections, there's no need for exceptions. I'm getting the rejection, then turn questions into acceptance. We went our separate ways, we never knew the roads unpaved. So we sought for better days, and we sung the songs we knew to play. And some are still new to this day, but now I know I cannot stay. I just need sunshine in clouds of gray. Then people say it's just a phase, so lift me up as you raise. Give your glory with your praise.
I have a friend who once said to me, "There's no choir without community, and no community without choir." It took a while for me to really understand her words and what they meant and how they resonate with me. For so many people, when we think of choir, we think of a place, we think of an activity. Choir is singing, people gather to sing. But it's so much more than that. It's a coming together of individual stories, of individual truths, and of so many different people from different walks of life. We come together in a shared space, a safe space, a space to make music, a space to laugh, a space to cry together, and a space where all those individual and unique stories share in a common purpose. As someone who grew up not really ever wanting anything to do with choir, or ever wanting to sing in a choir or be part of that world, it wasn't until later in life and after some pretty tough experiences that I realized that choir saved me. Not the act of singing, but the act of community.
My name is Hugh Gayler. I've been a member of Chorus Niagara for more years than I care to remember. As a child, I grew up in a household where mental health was an issue in the sense that my father worked in a 2,000-bed male mental hospital. There was no homelessness because if you were in any way distressed in society, you were signed across to a mental hospital. And there you probably stayed for the rest of your life. In a sense, you were incarcerated. And all of this went out the window in the 1960s when the miracle drugs were on the market and you could control people's mental illness. Also, you could bring them back into society rather than have them in a prison environment. It was looked upon as a way of saving money, of course, to incorporate them into a group home situation or back with one's family. And what we've come to realize, of course, 60 years after we got rid of mental hospitals, that this is not good enough anymore. And just this Saturday in the Globe and Mail was an editorial saying the argument for involuntary treatment is back. Because these people at the moment are not being looked after properly. The state is not doing its job. It's relying on charities, churches for example, to do the job for them. I go 2 Wednesdays a month to St. George's Church in St. Catherine's. They have a 365-day a year breakfast program, and we feed anywhere from 60 to 120 people per day. We do our best, but we're not medical people. We merely make sandwiches and coffee and tea and porridge and all the other things that one has for breakfast. But this isn't really good enough. Society has to come back and do more for mentally ill people. We do a lot for physically ill people, but we do not do the same for mentally ill. And I think that has to change in society today.
Sometimes I just need a healthy way to step away from stress, to disrupt the negative effect it has on my well-being. When I paint, I can visualize a world where there is beauty and balance, calm and goodness. And the act of painting draws me into that world. I painted the water lilies during the pandemic lockdown in 2021, when the anxiety over what was happening in the world was really starting to get to me. The image takes me to a peaceful place that I love to go to up north in the summer. Singing together with others is a similar exercise of creating harmony and beauty. And by visualizing that ideal reality, I find the hope and the energy to keep working at making the real world a more beautiful and peaceful and loving place.
always understood my life more clearly with music guiding me. My dad always sang songs to me. Now I find singing with my toddler grandsons can bring them around and dissolve any frustrations they may have. I continue to feel time and again the invisible, genuine, and oh so real connection we have with each other through the medium of the music.
My candle, here is my star. Pour me out. Okay. Now you know what that song's like, huh? What it means.
Near the start of the pandemic, I sang in Eric Whittaker's Sing Gently in my first virtual choir experience. It was written out of feelings of isolation and everyone's pain, which would gradually grow into the more complex mix of not knowing, worry, fear, and even greater isolation the world felt. Eric said to us, "There is something about joining voices, both metaphorically and literally, that makes us better people, better citizens, more empathetic, more compassionate." Singing, whether by myself, with my family, virtually, or with Chorus Niagara, allows me to let out all those feelings in a good way, a good healing way, nurturing me and making my life more bearable.
How could I live without music? One of my earliest memories is acting out songs from the Pirates of Penzance with my sisters while our father accompanied us on the piano. Music was fun for us. Our family loved to sing and laugh together. But during the worst days of my life, I turned to music to console me. It was a precious connection I had with my son James until the day he died. He loved making music. He trusted me to understand and enjoy his passion for writing it. James and I auditioned on the same day for Chorus Niagara. He was still in high school, and Bob let us both in. What a joy it was to rehearse and perform Mendelssohn's Elijah together that first year. It was 20 years later that James was diagnosed with cancer, and one of the ways he coped was to set his journey to music, a song cycle about the whole experience. He didn't despair. "Every day is a gift," he wrote. Music was a gift he left for me. For all of us, I'm grateful to remember him through his songs.